In our world, democracy is widely valued. Even those who despise democracy pretend to respect it. North Korea calls itself democratic. Vladimir Putin holds sham elections. Donald Trump pretends that he won the 2020 election. Even the most dictatorial people pretend to be democratic. Democracy is a powerful value, yet this value is increasingly under attack. Dictatorial states such as Russia and China play an increasingly influential role on the global stage. Donald Trump threatens democracy in the USA. Many people have come to question democracy, even detest it. Many people argue against democracy. Many people threaten democracy. Democracy is in danger. As a political system and as an ideal, democracy has many enemies. Democracy is ruled by the people. Democracy is government by and for the people. This is usually organized through voting. People vote directly on policy or vote to elect representatives. This can come in many forms, some of which are more democratic than others. Democracy is a precious thing, and it should be maintained, perfected, and expanded. But what makes democracy desirable? It is easy to take it for granted that democracy is a good thing, but our political ideals should not be dogmatic. They should be founded on strong arguments. Only then will our allegiance to them be strong and justified. What is so desirable about democracy? Democracy facilitates a peaceful transfer of power. People will always compete for power. In a democratic system, this competition can occur in a peaceful, orderly, and constructive way. In an undemocratic system, this competition is defined by civil war, revolution, repression, and insurrection. People will always compete for power. In a democracy, people can compete for power in a constructive, peaceful, and orderly manner. In an autocracy, the struggle for power will always be defined by violence, instability, oppression, and brutality. Democracy regulates those who hold power. It ensures that those who hold power are accountable. Democracy gives those who hold power an incentive to concern themselves with the interests of the people. Democracy encourages those who wield power to serve the interests of the people. Some say that ultimately any government must keep the people happy, but in a democracy, the need to keep the people happy is far greater, because power is lost far more easily. It is easier to overthrow a government with the vote than with the rifle. In a democratic society, the government can get away with less because it is at the mercy of the people to a far greater degree. In an autocracy, the people are at the mercy of the government. In a democracy, the government is at the mercy of the people. This is a very significant difference. Democracy encourages political thought. Democracy encourages people to question authority. These are very valuable things. Democracy encourages people to get involved in the decision-making that defines their society. This ensures that more perspectives will be heard and more ideas considered. Democracy encourages a competition of ideas and policies. Democracy pushes parties to embrace better policies as they are forced to be competitive. Democracy gives people a greater range of choices and a greater capacity to have a say on the future of their country. Democracy gets more minds involved in the search for political solutions. The autocrat makes a vile confession. They confess that they regard the people as too stupid to govern themselves. Only a democracy recognizes the intelligence of the people and encourages them to use it. Autocratic governments always discourage criticism and encourage thoughtlessness. Autocratic governments encourage irrationality and dogmatism. Only a democratic system encourages the questioning of power, and the questioning of power is something that should be strongly encouraged. Democracy makes people feel like a part of their society. Democracy makes people feel like a meaningful component of their society. Democracy can create a sense of belonging. Democracy reduces destructive perceptions of powerlessness and helplessness. Democracy limits the power of the leader. Democracy prevents leaders from being corrupted by power. Democracy prevents the concentrations of power that inevitably lead to brutal authoritarian governance. Democracy is a great thing. Democracy can be frustrating. Everyone finds democracy frustrating some of the time. But democracy is a great thing. Democracy is rationally desirable. Democracy must be maintained, perfected, and expanded.